Hello everybody, Averodius here, back at you with another episode of Baldur's Gate 3. So I realized last time that I ended the episode without telling you about strongholds, which is bad of me. It's actually been a couple of days.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Where's the exit? Exit is this way. And I made the mistake of watching a stream of somebody else playing what I thought was an earlier part of Baldur's Gate 3, where I hadn't done it yet. And it was sort of true, but because they had a tendency to steal everything that wasn't nailed down, they ended up discovering something that I had completely missed. Hold on, where's the map? Madre de Dios. We'll look for that one. Turn to Zevlor. I'm going to Emerald Grove Environs. We need to... well, first we need to rest. And then we need to go steal a couple of pieces of paper. Because apparently, the druid, What's-Her-Face, the racist bitch of a druid that I was getting so grumpy at with the elves. They're all about preserving balance and not getting involved with the other races and keeping everything separate from druids. Apparently she's a shadow druid. So remember when I said that there are shadow druids, which are like nature rules all, attack all civilization, bring everybody back to the Dark Ages. Well, I don't think I ever expressed it quite like that, but she's one of them. They are evil. So, back in the day, alignment in D&D was a big part of your character. It still can be, but people try and ignore it now because it's really hard to define lawful evil, lawful good, all that kind of stuff, versus, I have a bond, I have a flaw, more logical, parts of a person's personality. Well, back in the day, druids could only be true neutral, which basically meant I don't give a toss about anything that... oh, we're at a short rest. Okay. I don't give a toss about anything that isn't nature or, the harmony of nature or the balance between nature and civilization. Basically, trying to make sure that logging didn't turn into... logging was done responsibly, trees were replaced, all that kind of thing. Worthy work, but it did mean that, as played accurately, the druid would probably be caring more about the ecological issues of a village taking too much food from the surrounding countryside, and ignoring the fact that the village's crops had failed, and they were currently starving to death, so there's not much they can do about that. They don't really care about the people that are living in the village. They care about the fact that, basically, in 10 years, they're going to have depleted all the resources in the area. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, but very much not great to try and get to save the world if the world that's being threatened is like civilization and armies rather than wilderness. If it's an end of the world thing where demons are going to invade everything, they'll get involved. But if it's like, we need to stop those orcs invading us because they're going to take over and tax us too highly, they're not going to care. They don't pay taxes. They live in the wilderness. They worship nature, and nature provides for them. So, but shadow druids are not even, we worship nature, we're detached from people. It's, we worship nature and want to kill people, so that nature can go back to being nature, uninterfered with by human hands. And their alignment was the only druid alignment that wasn't true neutral, and it was chaotic evil. Like I said, law, chaos, Michael Moorcock, all that kind of thing, a little bit funky. Anyway, getting back onto the track that I was talking about, with strongholds. So, fighters in 2nd edition, dagnabbit, You know what? I'm going to talk to Will.
Will's brows furrow as your minds connect. He sees the burning embers of Joaquin's rest, then Floric's face as she tells you of Ravengard's abduction.
Hells. Older Ravengard's been taken.
Who that? What? Yes, Drow set fire to the inn and stole away the Duke.
If Floric says he lives, then he lives. And we need to free him from his captors. You see,
Oh, wow.
Grand Duke Ravengard is my father.
I'm not sure that you're...
I know I haven't said. Our relation was no matter of pride. Not least for him.
I thought you were a folk hero. Curious. I'd heard Duke Ravengard's son left the city all my time in Baldur's Gate, and I didn't even know Ravengard had children. Okay.
You heard right.
Oh.
My father and I were close once upon a time, until he disowned me and cast me out of Baldur's Gate. Such a rift isn't so easily mended. But it's not so wide that I'd let my own father suffer at his captor's hands.
So what do you think the Drow want with your father?
I've been asking myself the same question. What makes a Duke
I'm
of
also not
Baldur's
going to
Gate so
chastise him for
interesting
keeping
to the Drow?
secrets.
Even the houses of Menzo Baranzan would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction.
Okay.
His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin.
I've heard
All
that
the
there's
more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast.
Okay, so I can bring up the secrets thing. I'm not sure I should.
I know. And you're right.
Oh god, you're lawful good.
When I
aren't
look
you?
into a mirror, I see two faces.
Really?
I see the Blade of Frontiers, a man hunting the fiends who prey on the weak and claw at the coast.
And one
And I
face
see
is
Will
burnt off!
Ravengard, the memory of a memory. A man who belongs to the past. I wanted you to know the Blade, not the shadow he left behind.
That's reasonable enough. I've got stuff I would rather leave in the past. I am not the nicest of guys, gonna be honest, but I'm also aware that I am a lot different than I used to be. In some ways I used to be a lot nicer, in some ways I used to be a lot more unpleasant. It's the way that life goes. You grow up, you change. Sometimes it's for the better, but sometimes it's not. Like, nobody sets out going, I want to be homeless living on the streets. But some people wind up there, and that's... The steps to get there require you to either be in such a desperate situation with your parents that they cannot support you possibly any longer than they have, or that you I can't swap out myself. Sorry, trying to figure out who to swap out. Or that you've alienated them so badly that they will not consider having you around for a moment longer.
Come on. Come on. What are you hiding? Can you summon the dead? Bring them back? Can you... can you shut up and let me read?
I forgot I got the vampire in trouble with the book.
What? No, I'm fine. I was just perusing this little find. Will you shut up? Forgive me. This book reads you more than you read it.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, it plays with your mind. There are secrets here, but the book has spirits. They fight you every step of the way. I barely opened it when they started whispering from the shadows.
So, should we hand it to
Now,
Gale?
every time I open it, the voices surge back into my mind. I can't reason with them. They exist to protect that book.
You've alienated your family so bad that you possibly cannot come back. Or they've alienated you. I know people who had to leave home because let's just say their living arrangements with their parents became unbearable for one reason or another. What secrets?
I don't know. That's the point. The secret.
I'm really glad I handed this up.
Someone went through a lot of trouble to protect this tome. It has to be something more than a book of cantrips.
I'm really glad I went to
Still,
the trouble of
I
handing it up to
doubt
someone
this will
else.
help us with our parascience. Maybe it's better to put it aside for now.
Keep at it. Keep at it.
As long as those spirits remember their mission, I doubt it. Keeping the book safe is all they know. But still, we live in hope. Figuratively speaking.
Anyway, what was it? Oh yes, I managed to ramble a bit. Yeah. Getting back to... Oh god, I've got to go talk to Ale.
I'd like
Gale.
some time to talk.
Strongholds, 2nd edition, fighters, got a stronghold.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring.
Yep.
Why don't we take a little break? Allow ourselves a few moments
Yes.
of rest. Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important.
Alright, go
We've
ahead.
been on the road together for a while now, haven't
Oh
we?
god, you're not cracking onto me
Survived
like a
some
vampire, are you?
perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. The
You
way
weren't
you
there
got
for most of
Korga
that.
to release the girl.
Korga,
In
that's the one.
short, I've grown to trust you.
Okay. You too? I'm not sure I trust you yet. It's
The
very
reason I
gratifying
make
to
a
hear.
point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul, except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share,
Okay.
but
That's pretty good.
just as deadly.
I've shared this with no living soul, apart from my cat. That very much humanizes you. Oh god. Asturian is the over-the-top romantic, suffering vampire bad boy. I read Twilight when I was 14. I don't really fancy doing that again. Because the fact that you've basically got a 9-year-old who acts like a 14-year-old and is in love with a 14-year-old, it's a bit sketchy. Not gonna lie. Buffy the Vampire Slayer wasn't great at it either. Love that series, pardon me. You know. And it's one of my parents' favorites, but it's a bit freaky. Anyway, what kind of condition?
The specifics are rather personal,
When it comes
but
to the
suffice it
age
to say
gap
that it is a malady
between
I've learned
love
to live
interests.
with, and not without some effort.
Like
What
you
it
think.
comes down to is this.
What?
Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside.
You're kidding. Causes you to consume raw magic. I'm gonna need the details. That is... I regret picking him up now, because that is a awful, awful thing to have to do. Because either you're shelling out for magical items that you otherwise wouldn't have had to buy in order to sate his hunger, or you're having to sacrifice useful equipment. Either way, it's not great. Okay, let's go with it.
I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance.
You're telling me that you have a
Days
thing
since
that
I
means
last
you
received
eat
an
magic,
artifact, since before we were abducted.
and you're not going to tell me
It's
anything
time.
more about it.
And by that, I mean it's imperative that I find and consume strands of weave at the earliest possible juncture. We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know
Please.
for yourself how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more
I
are required
bought
to
this, didn't I?
assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved.
Can I get your face to do
great
something other
cost.
than what it just did? Because that was... You looked like you were chewing on something. was I going? Oh yeah, the age gap between Buffy and her love interests, like Spike and Angel, are the two favorite love interests of the fandom, and they're both over 200 years old. They come from not even Victorian Britain. They come from pre-Victorian Britain. They come from late 1700s Britain. That's not something that in Angel's case, there's some destiny thing involved. And I think there is with Spike 2 in the comics, or maybe in the spin-off series. But either way, it's still gross. Like, when you look at the age gap between the actors and the actress, you start to, and you think about what that would actually be like, and you're like, oh, that's a bit off. And then you're like, hang on a minute, it's even stupidly bigger. Like, yeah, I'm not... love can bloom between many people in many places and at many times. And age should be no obstacle to true love. But also, if you were alive and... if you were an adult when the other person was born, then you seriously need to think about the relationship, because the gap in resources and maturity and life experience is going to lead to a big power imbalance within the relationship. Like, an 18-year-old dating a 36-year-old is considered eyebrow-raising. Anything bigger than that, you're starting to get into very strange territory. And also, it begs the question, and this is an important question that I think a lot of fandoms don't consider. Sorry, I've gone off a complete tangent here. I might have to cut this out. It begs the question that a lot of fandoms don't consider, which is, why is the character macking onto the other character? Like, sorry, just killing a spider. I expect as much, don't worry, I'm happy to help. Sorry, I'll keep this moving.
Bit of boldness will serve us well. As luck would have it, you're already primed to give me exactly what I need.
This is sounding flirting. Overodious. Oh. I don't have any spells that cause poison damage, and it's one of the... Wait, what? Poison light? Oh. I'm gonna go with this one, because I don't care about dancing lights. I've got light, and I've got numerous party members who have dark vision. Or I could go for Poisonous Robe. I'm going to go with Poisonous Robe because I also don't have any spells that cause poison damage. And I don't foresee me getting any because it's the most common resistance, or second most common resistance in the monster manual. Like, people used to make the joke of, oh, you're going for a single element
I hit the spot.
caster.
I could feel it work.
The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon
the
inside.
game.
A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters.
I'm glad you're feeling, but I'm just...
Oh, it's not so bad once you get used to it. And, on the plus side, my tower in Waterdeep has never been so free of clutter.
I like you as a person, I
Sincerely,
just don't
though.
want you as a love interest.
I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told.
And I say that because he reminds me of me.
My lord,
Glad I could help.
I bow to your boundless kindness.
Thank you, I guess. Can I sleep now? What was I saying? people have tried to go like, I only cast one element and specialize all my perks into making sure that that one element is the most powerful thing that I can do with their characters before in varying role-playing games. And at that point, the DM usually goes, you've got a favorite spell? Cool. I've got a monster that's immune to it. Please do something different. It's getting boring. Like, there are people who are just like, I have an I win button that I'm gonna punch until everything's dead. Which is why games invented damage immunities, because the I win button is something that you probably need to get rid of. And funnily enough, it's almost always a magical thing. There's never a physical I win button problem, because the fighter doesn't have any other options that they can take. You know, if you make somebody immune to bludgeoning, smashing, slashing, and piercing damage, the fighter is going to be standing around for 90% of the battle going, can't do anything, DM doesn't like me. But if you make something immune to fire, then you can just have a laugh at the wizard who prepared only fire spells today, rather than having a fire spell and something else as a backup. Anyway, I like Baldur's Gate, and I've played D&D and enjoyed running D&D, but I also am not a big fan of all the design choices that D&D makes. Anyway, let's try and knock together a responsible meal out of this. Let's see. Potatoes. What? What? A salami is not a weapon. How many do we have? Let's see. So we've got carbohydrates, proteins, something to drink, a courgette, or a zucchini, as we call it here. What the? How do I split item? Okay. I don't want to use up all the carrots at once. That was a lot. I didn't realize I had 7 carrots. Anyway, full rest. Okay. Please, nothing attack us. So, emotional maturity. Why can't the person relate to ladies of his own age? Why can he not do a relationship with somebody who has the same level of maturity and life experience as him? If he can't, that says to me, there's something wrong with me that anybody who has my level of life experience can see. And so I need to prey on people who are younger and less experienced. Oops, that's not the button. In order to be able to try and conduct a relationship, rather than working on the issue and trying to get it resolved. It's really common among narcissists, is what I'm trying to say. Which, I mean, means that 90% of the characters that you see on TV are going to go that way. Because a lot of the writers in the writer's room have to write exaggerated personalities in order to have them show up at all.
Come, boy. It's all right.
What the? What can I hear? Doggy. I don't have talk with animals. Also don't have eyes. Oh, why is this so dark? Okay, so what am I looking at here?
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Cursed to put my hands on everything. Sent 2 druids. Yeah, Red Wizards of Thay, most prominent necromancers in the whole universe. Hang on, that's not where I came in, is it? Is that upstairs? I saw this last time, but I wasn't sure.
Ridiculous.
Wait a
We
sec.
just let him run off.
Nope, that was the door that I just came in. I am a complete tool. Also very distracted by various things. yeah, so that's my thing on the whole really, really big and uncomfortable age gap in fiction. Let's go turn-based. Starring.
I bite on baby toes.
And you've hidden. Do you still have a cunning action?
Stepping softly.
Let's try and get out of the observed area of everybody and into somewhere less
What's
nasty.
next, I wonder?
I've got a long road ahead.
This is, by the way, one of the reasons that people hate rogues in D&D is because basically what they have to do in D&D is the scout position. They have to sneak off and try and find traps and try and identify where enemies are and that kind of thing. Yeah, large age gaps in romantic couples. Not just in fiction, but in reality. What is stopping you from pursuing a relationship with somebody your own age, basically? Tenants of the Emerald Enclave. Okay. Bottle rack. Somehow I don't think it's tenants of the Emerald Enclave. I didn't actually see what they picked up. Which means that you get to watch as I futz around with... Nope. Trying to identify which item it is. It's not hers, is it? Hang on. You're the healer. That's not the same. You're the healer, and hey, can't reach destination. Why can I see something behind that? Scenery. You know, and if the answer is everybody else my age is dead, that's, I mean, sort of more understandable. It just then leads to problems of how long are you expecting this relationship to last, and how long are they expecting this relationship to last? You know, let's go have a look at a wicker chest.
Watch your back.
You are still hiding,
It's
right?
into the shadows.
Soul coins. A treatise on soul coins. What is the Rite of Thorns?
The element of surprise.
Great. So basically, they get to close everything off. Can't see. Okay. Investigate cargo. What? Find a cure, find a Yankee trash. Investigate cargo. The Rite of Thorns is dangerous magic. We should investigate. That's mine now.
Assume nothing.
That is if the difference is bigger than like big enough for one of you to be an adult and the other one to be a child. Anything smaller than that, and I'm gonna raise an eyebrow, but I'm not really gonna care, because well, anything bigger than 10 years, I'm gonna raise an eyebrow, but I'm not really gonna care. Anything under that, you're playing in your own ballpark with that one. You know, you were born in the same decade. Let's go to a story. Actually, let's go investigate the tenants of the Emerald Enclave. Must be preserved no matter its form. Offer aid to the weary and injured. That does not sound like what Kaga's doing. Just saying. Oh, quill. Natter. Yay. You guys are really Spartan, aren't you?
They won't see me coming.
Because You're sleeping on stone beds here? Like, that's a lot. What's in the sack? Rotten tomatoes. Not gonna touch that. Rags, brimmed hat, whatever. Okay. So I can look like a stereotypical fantasy wizard. Evil eye. Take those and read them. I'll have my character read them because it might come in handy. Well, at least start moving over here, please. Anyway, I was going on about strongholds. So, fighters got a
Can't afford to stay idle.
Action, not
key
reaction.
at level 10. Because at level 10, in D&D, 2nd edition acknowledged that you're basically playing a different game to when you started 1st edition, first level. By level 10, dungeon crawling is no longer really a threat. And that's what the early game is all about. Early game D&D, back in the old days, not so much these days, but it's still sort of in the design, in as much as they're having to keep around a bunch of legacy stuff that plays into it.
Step careful.
It was all about basically survival. What the heck? Okay, I'll take that. Survival horror, sneaking around in dungeons. Ooh, tags! That will be very handy because I think we bumped into one of those. That was the old lady that I sided against because, well, as soon as they said hag, I'm like, hang on a minute, that's an actual critter in D&D. $5, and they're known for illusions. $5 says that those failed insight checks that I'm seeing in the background are very important. So, level 1, you're sneaking around, you're doing very careful stuff to try and avoid dying to traps. By level 10, you've got probably around 100 HP.
This will all be over. The ritual's almost finished. What if they tried to steal from us?
There's a bunch of rats.
We've shown them once.
They
We
named
take
their
them very
rats?
seriously.
No, they didn't name their rats. But, okay, so the reason that What's-Her-Face is getting over this is because the druids are genuinely assholes.
A quick rummage.
Come on, let's see if you can get close enough. Ooh. I'll have that. You guys only care about nature anyway, don't you? So I don't care about money. You're not going to care about money. Where was he looting? Spoon, fork. That's the one lucky chest. There's another one over here. It's sturdy. There's nothing in it. Alright, let's have a look at the stone tablets over here. I can't believe that I didn't do that earlier. What are these anyway?
Assume nothing.
By 10th level, you can take on almost an army, well, not an army by yourself, but you can take on large numbers of opponents by yourself. And
Whatever it takes.
a trap can just be bulldozed through by you deciding that, you know what, I can just shrug off the HP loss and just go with it. And at that point, you've got Fireball, which means that you can take out a bunch of minions in one go. You're starting to get, you know, you're starting to get to the point where Hold Monster is a thing. Like, Hold Person is powerful against humanoid enemies. But Hold Monster is where you're really supposed to use it more often because you can use that on non-humanoids. And you'd be surprised at what classifies as non-humanoid. Weathered chisel set. I went through the wicker baskets, didn't I? Okay. So that's the way out. And that's the edge of the map. Servants' quarters. I've just looted a bunch of people's stuff for no gain, haven't I? There's a map over here. Let's stop you hiding.
Moving.
This wicker chest isn't red. Let's have a look. Although I think I already have. Thank you. Exit. I thought I clicked that already. Damn. Let's have a look at the wicker basket. Food. I'm just gonna save real quick, in case something goes wrong. Put it bluntly, you're not playing first level D&D. You're probably playing some kind of political game, where you've got a grand quest rather than settling down. Because that's the healer. This is Druid's Chambers. Okay. Halzin's Journal. I think I've looked at this already. Halzin's Journal level 1. Let's have a look. Parasitic creature, drow. Oh, that was where, okay, something tells me that there's a bunch of statues all over the place that will get involved if we make trouble. Just based on what I've seen so far. Oh, God. This is really tricky. Because there's a bunch of bookcases that I could be searching, and I don't know what they were looking for. Although, I don't think it was in the library. I think it was in somebody's chambers. Is there anything about anything in here that screams to me, you are Kaga? Druid notebook. Let's read that. Druid's chambers. Ketheric is finished. Blah da 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 da. Well, that's not a problem.
Take it one step at a time, Nettie. Come on.
Oh, bird. We're looking for grimy report. Violet. Grove Annals. Study of the Sword Coast. Oh. Let's get back into turn-based mode. Oh well, this is going to be interesting. Hide. Okay. Let's try that again. Because I don't want you to see me looking at your leader's notes. Because you guys are getting weird about that. Exit turn-based mode. Let's have a look at detailed report. Water to the Sword Coast. She's infected. What? Someone's written Shadow Curse at the top of this.
Temple of Shah. Where? And what's this about a curse?
Okay. That's cargo. I'm looking for... so hard to see in here. I'm sorry, this is probably really painful for anybody who's actually watching. Oh no, it's still going. It's a turn-based mode. You know, a wizard got to start developing spells at level 10. They got a wizard's tower, they got a place that they could hang out. Okay, exit turn-based mode. Let's go hide behind him so that it's less obvious.
That mural, they look like dark justiciars.
What? Are you talking about the scratchings on the wall over here? Because I can't see for love nor money, even with the candles. Let's hide.
Like a wraith. Very well then.
Okay, let's have a look at this.
Best keep your hands to yourself. You're being watched.
Load game. Load saved game. So a fighter by level 10 was somebody that you would expect to be leading armies, not dealing with them, though. They were somebody of renown and power and influence and wealth. Because by level 10, you had probably seen and done more than anybody would ever believe or dream of. And also, based on the old rules about EXP equals gold equals EXP, went in here. It's... where is this? Let's see. So, we've got servants' quarters. We've got people who are grumpy. Wicker basket. Logbook. wicker chest.
Let's move.
Is this the right area? Right, because Nettie was in here. Alongside alright.
Let's prowl. Move unseen.
What happened to Dash? Still hiding.
Indolence breeds madness. There is work to do.
Sorry. When I focus, I tend to focus on what I'm controlling rather than talking, which is a flaw of mine for Let's Plays, I will admit. Let's not weigh ourselves down with unnecessary loot. From philosophy level 5. Alright. Dash. Let's go over and have a look at this. Ancient notebook. Oh, wait, that was not a problem to pick up. Which is why I've already done it. Mergrass, let's take that. Pears, camp supplies. That all gets lumped in together. Moss covered stone. Let's not go with the stone tablets. Exhausted bird. Oh no, Nettie was in here last time. Where is everybody's stuff?
Certainly.
Where is Karga's stuff in specific? Apparently there's a half scribbled out note.
Assume nothing. A long way to go still. I could probably actually raid the bookshelves in here
If this isn't
with no problems. Let's have a look at the chests. Nothing. I'll take those. Camp supplies. I'll take that. I will dash. But so that became known as a stronghold. The fighter was the first one to get a stronghold, but everybody looked at the fighter basically getting to command dudes. Headache for a headache and a half for the headache and a half for the DM to try and sort out. Oh boy. I can't do sleep. I can't do. Ooh. Can I do minor illusion? You're already hiding. I can dash twice. Let's just go this way. Okay, there's nothing in the vase. Let's have a look at the open crate. There's clothes in there. I don't need clothes. I'm not naked. You've walked away. Vase, bottle rack, carafe of water. Cutting board. Okay. And so what turned up in Baldur's Gate 2 was strongholds for other people as well. So the fighter and the barbarian got a keep, as did the monk, because they hadn't yet figured out what role a monk was supposed to play. Still haven't, but, you know, the influence of kung fu movies was strong even then. Or at least somebody who wants to fight with their hands rather than with their with weapons. It's not great.
For battle.
Whatever.
Matters need attending.
Pardon me.
A lot on my mind.
The bard got access to a theatre where they could stage plays. I've never played a bard in Baldur's Gate, so never something that I investigated. The sorcerer and the wizard got a basically a wizard's tower, except in this case it was a extra-dimensional sphere that had teleported into the city.
Time for a quick talk.
Thank you. I wanted to deal with him rather than you, because you're the sneaky one. She's wearing plate. Ooh. Like that. Well, half plate. No. Chainmail? Chainmail. One of the clanky, loud armor options. Cutting board, round flask. Where is everything? Where is Karka's stuff? Please don't tell me that it's all out in the main chamber. It's gonna be all out in the main chamber, isn't it? Yeah,
Take it one step at a time,
stop
Ned.
hiding.
Come on.
On my way.
What am I looking for? So there's wooden spoon, mortar and pestle. I hate this because I
don't want blood on my hands.
We have the right to defend our home.
So that's what you want? To kill a bunch of innocents?
I don't want to kill anyone, but I won't let this grove be harmed. Not again.
I don't know how to do this. Anyway, the paladin got to join a paladin order. The cleric got a Grove Annals. The cleric got to join a temple and got to do quests for the temple. I actually managed to get to the end of the paladin order one once. It's interesting. One of the quests specifically relies on you making use of your paladin ability to... Oh, I already went through this room. Paladin ability to detect evil.
Ridiculous.
Where the only
We just let her run off.
way
She's
to
a
tell...
child.
A devil child. One who tried to steal from us.
You bunch
Yet
of...
she failed. That's what matters.
You bunch of flaming stupid racists. Druid's Chambers. Okay, so in here is the Druid's Chambers apparently. Stone bench. No, this is the Enclave Library. This is... What's this? Nope, still the Enclave Library. What? I'm confused. Let's just quick save real quick. Let's have a look. On Death and Resurrection. No. On Stone Tablets. Soul Coins. Treatise. Stone Tablets. Fringe Philosophy. Ugh. If I was looking to sell books to make a mint, this would be awesome, but I'm not. Oral Histories of Faerun, Geth and Mind Flayers. I'll take that. Missives of Candlekeep. Already took that. It referenced something out of Baldur's Gate 1. Don't know why, because Baldur's Gate 1 is, if I'm right, let's see. Notes on dry parasites. Hastily written note was... oh yeah, altered... No. Stone slab. Okay. Alright, let's hide. And go do our things.
Can't even see a lot to pick.
Well, that's not helpful.
Let's be quick.
Yeah, so interdimensional sphere for the wizard and sorcerer, where you could get them to make you magical items. You could collect taxes from the keep. The bard got a theatre where you could stage plays and get paid that way. Cleric got a religious order, not a biggie. Paladin got a order where the last quest was to kill a dragon. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a person that turns up, and basically either you detect evil or you've got no clue whether or not they're a bad guy or not. Which is not a great way to go about it, but I mean, it very much plays into the flavor of being a paladin, where you're supposed to be doing that all the time. You know, paladin, justice bot. What? Sort of the nerves in mind. Treatise. So there's somewhere that I can't get into, even with my awesome lockpicking skills. I've gone through basically everything in this room, besides the stone tablets. And given what they're like so far, I highly doubt they're gonna be. I might as well give it a shot. Let's turn this mode, please. So as I can actually have precise control over this. Stone tablets. Let's have a look over here. Oral histories of Faerun. The Spell Plague. Oh yes, the Spell Plague was one of the things that happened in between. Very
quiet.
I am a tool. I am an absolute tool. Got enough movement now. Stop it. On Death and Resurrection. Paladin, Cleric, Sorcerer, Druid. Ranger, you got a cabin in the woods, and you got to deal with the woods, being the woods. Nothing super exciting, but it was very flavorful and fit in with Rangers as kind of these, we mess around and we're outside civilization, but we're still fighters. And so we're more about trying to like guide people through the woods rather than getting them go away from the woods and stop messing around with our trees, which is druids. And then you got the thief. The thief got the Thieves Guild, and you could run a Thieves Guild, which was very cool. You know, it wasn't just that you were doing jobs for the Thieves Guild, which is really, really common in which is really common in tabletop games. You know, we're being employed by the Thieves Guild.
One step at a time.
But no, it's I get to run the Thieves Guild and tell them how much to pickpocket. So I don't get it. What's over here?
Certainly.
Oh, Sylvanas, I just want my bed.
Okay, how do I sneak? Crime report, detailed report, wooden crate or vase? I don't know which one of these it's going to be, and I suspect I'm about to get in trouble. Can I hide? No. No.
Neither seen nor heard.
I'm going to save.
Gently.
And
Not everyone subscribes to what is mine is yours, it seems.
Load, saved, game. I'm supposed to be sneaky. Dang damn it. I'm gonna have to talk to him, aren't I? In order to actually be able to investigate properly. Great. Well, back to my main character then. Because every time I'm doing this, I'm succeeding at stealth, except when he gets involved, which involves me, which tells me that there's. Astorian, stop hiding. It's just embarrassing. It tells me that there's a script running that says he observes everything. He's got a passive perception that's through the roof, and there's no way in heck you can succeed.
You did well to speak up for the girl. That snake is fickle. A tragedy prevented.
I haven't talked to you yet.
Well seen. Well spotted.
Oh.
We've let a snake replace our leader.
That's embarrassing. How did Karga take over the room? Oh, bro.
She is first druid in Halsin's absence. With him caught or dared by
Yay,
goblins,
hierarchy.
None may gainsay, but more will die if her ritual is finished. I doubt those exiled by the right will survive long outside.
I like you. You seem to...
Would you? I would give anything to see Halsin return. Sylvana, Halsin is an... You won't mistake the...
Okay, so he's telling me to get Halsin, but these guys managed to... right. You know what? I think this has been going on long enough, and this is getting frustrating. So I'm actually gonna stop here, and you can finish listening to my rambling, and I will do a brief Google and find out exactly what I'm missing. Until then, this has been Overradius playing Baldur's Gate 3. Bye bye.